One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Northern Colorado Athletic Director Darren Dunn is our guest on One Question. And Darren, a week or so ago, we ran some One Questions with Kyle Moats at Missouri State, where Kyle provided some insight on how he mentors and aids promising young athletic administrators through the industry as their talent is blooming. I want to ask you the same question to a degree, but I want to flip it on its head a little bit and have you recount your history of coming up through the business at places like Northern Illinois and Tulsa, and then obviously New Mexico, which is a key piece of your storyline, and how the leaders at those institutions and your bosses shaped you, and then how you apply those practices to your department today in Greeley.
Well, I started out working my master's degree at the University of New Mexico and looking for a place to expand, learn about college athletics. And I was extremely fortunate to run into Mike Alden, who has been in this industry for a long time, recently retired. But I still think he's involved a little bit here and there. But, there's no question in my mind I would not be here today if it wasn't for him and his support on a daily basis. Not only did he teach me the world of college athletics, but more than that, he helped me be prepared to take on my first full-time job. I was an intern under him, and he helped prepare me not only just learning about marketing and development, but also he taught me how to just prepare for that next step in the interview process. And he took a lot of time in preparing me for that first interview that I had when I went to go work, or before I worked for Northern Illinois University. To me, I felt like it was a part of his job to make sure that I was prepared for that next opportunity. And so that's how I've always approached anybody that I work with, whether they report to me or not. I've always felt like that's been part of my responsibility to help get them ready. He provided me with a lot of questions and practice interviews and just a number of things to prepare me. So that was extremely fortunate for me, because I really don't think I would have gotten that first job if it wasn't for him. And then, I can go down the line. I went to Tulsa, where I worked closely with Judy MacLead, and, I think she was a great person, and she taught me more of the personal side and caring about individuals. And, you each person you work with, you pick up things here and there. And to me, she cared as much about the student athlete and the people that worked for her as much as anyone else in her family. I think I learned a lot from her. And then you can go to Bill McGillis, who is just, I think, one of the sharpest people in college athletics. And he just knows how to connect and how to look for the right people in the right places. He's a tremendous resource. And then Mack Rhoades is probably one of the best administrators overall that I've ever worked with. And he taught me a lot and really prepared me more from a personnel standpoint and internal operations and just how to interact with campus. Just the full range that I think prepared me for my current role. There's no way I would have been able to do a good job here if it wasn't for Mac, just because he prepared me so well.
One thing we hear coaches say all the time is you can't get through to every player in the exact same manner. I'm going to assume that applies to your staff at Northern Colorado, but also probably the staff you oversaw at Houston, New Mexico, and previous to that. How much time do you consciously spend thinking about how to press the buttons of your staff to get the most out of them?
I think Mack Rhoades is tremendous from that perspective. I think he really listens and spends a tremendous amount of time during the search process in trying to hire the right person to start. If you don't hire the right person to start, then you have a really difficult uphill battle. No matter how good of a manager you are and have a great place and how many great responsibilities you have, if you don't have that right person involved, I think that you're going to struggle. And the employee will struggle. Mac introduced me to a book called The Way of the Shepherd, and the premise of it is, trying to find the right fit for that position that fits within your institution, your athletic department values. And to me, he spent a ton of time trying to find always that right fit. And so I learned a lot about that and how to dig deeper than just, if it's a coaching hire, don't just look at wins and losses. Look at how they treat people. Talk to the secretary. Dig deeper into that person than that surface. There's a lot of great coaches out there that win a lot of games. But for me, that I learned from Mac was, you spend so much time with those individuals and you go to battle with those individuals. You want to find someone that is a good person that you can work with closely every day. Finding a partner, to me, is what we try to do in any hire that we do. And that's whether it's a secretarial position to one of our top coaches and everyone in the middle. I don't think you rush through any process at any hiring for any position. So that's what we do. I think a lot is we spend a lot of time, and I know sometimes the staff on the search committees, I drive them nuts because we just continually go over individuals and we make more calls than anyone else because I want to make sure we do our due diligence and we find that right fit.
And that's today's one question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.